This morning is about how do I birth what God has placed in me, and I'm having a problem pregnancy. The text to talk and the takeaway. The text is Exodus 1:15 through 18. Exodus 1:15 through 18. The king said to the Hebrew midwives, when you help the Hebrew women in childbirth, if it's a boy, kill him. If it is a girl, let him live. The midwives feared God. They let the boys live. The midwives feared God. They let the boys live. How do you deliver when you're in a problem pregnancy? I'm going to help you by giving you two criteria that you need to look at with respect to picking a midwife mentor. Jot that down. A midwife mentor. And then two things that you need to do in order to deliver. You got that? What is the criteria by which I pick a midwife mentor that can help me birth what God has placed in me? And what are the two things that I need to do so that I can, in fact, birth? Because even if I have a mentor, even if I have a midwife mentor, guess what? You still got to push that out yourself. Here's the first thing. The first thing is this. When you pick a midwife mentor to help you birth the things that God has placed in you, they should fear God. They should fear God. Notice that the writer of Exodus makes it very, very clear up front that these midwives feared God more than they feared Pharaoh. Now that's huge because they could see Pharaoh and they knew that Pharaoh had the right and the authority over their lives. If they disobeyed a order from Pharaoh, that is grounds for killing. That's grounds for taking them out. That's grounds for execution. But they feared God more than they feared Pharaoh. So when you're looking for a midwife mentor to help you push out what God has in you, then make sure that they fear God more than they fear man. Now, here's the second thing. The second thing is the first thing that you need to do with respect to pushing out what God has in you. Understand this, that problem pregnancies take time. I know you're saying, now, Bishop, what do you know about problem pregnancies? Well, like I said, never been pregnant with a child, but I have been pregnant with the things of God. And it takes time. You have to be patient. Notice what verse 16 says. They observed. The midwives observed. It takes time sometimes when God is moving on you. Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. He's going to do exceedingly abundantly more than you could ask or think by the power that works in you. But it's going to take time. Here's the third thing. Here's the third thing that I need you to get. And the third thing is the second thing. Don't want to confuse you. It's the second thing with respect to the criteria by which you pick a midwife mentor. A midwife mentor. You need to see God operating in their life. Not only that they fear God, but you need to see some fruit, some evidence in their life. Notice in verse 21. In verse 21, because of their operating and their behavior with God, God gave them their own family. Verse 21. Now, what's the big deal with that? Midwives traditionally could not have children of their own. Midwives traditionally could not have children of their own. They were barren. That's why they were relegated to this life of midwifery. So you need to see God moving in the life of your mentor so that you can have evidence that what they tell you is true. What's the fourth thing that I need to share with you? The fourth thing is actually the second thing for the criteria by which you need to push that out. Understand this. You have to push your passion out. Verse 19 says they were vigorous. They were vigorous. You got to push that passion out. Did you not know that it takes 22 months, up to 22 months for an elephant to have a child, to have a baby elephant? Did you not know that it's 590 days for a whale to give birth to a baby whale? But they push it out. They push it out. In the end, they push that baby out. And that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to be vigorous and push out what God has placed in you. So what's your takeaway this morning? Your takeaway is this. When it's a difficult birth and difficult pregnancy, understand the problem is not you. It is Satan trying to stop you from delivering what God has placed in you, because what God placed in you is the problem that you're going to cause Satan. That's the issue. It's difficult because Satan is trying to stop you, because what's in you is going to create a problem for Satan when you get it out of you. The Lord be with you today. May his face shine upon you, give you peace. Don't keep the manna to yourself. Share the manna with somebody else. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow morning with more Morning Manna. Bye now.